Hi, I recently saw a very amusing video. It was a video from a guy who calls himself an economist who went out there to try to prove that Walmart was not able to raise their wages to their employees because if they did that, it would cause prices to rise, which would hurt the very people who shop there. So he was trying to say it was impossible for Walmart to raise its wages without raising its prices at the same time. Now let's forget for a fact that this guy who calls himself an economist, well, he's been wrong about everything over the past several years. Let's say he's been wrong about interest rates, he's been wrong about inflation, he's been wrong about the dollar, he's been wrong about the U.S. stock market, about the U.S. economy. He said there was going to be hyperinflation. He was even wrong about the housing market, which he purportedly, supposedly predicted the housing crash. But, you know, home prices have already recovered up and beyond the level which goes back to the time where he predicted the crash. But let's leave all of that aside. Let's get to this little video that he did where and now this guy claims to be worth tens of millions of dollars, very important guy with a brokerage firm here in the United States and a brokerage firm in Canada and a bank and a money management firm. He's got all this stuff. He's a very successful multimillionaire oligarch. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Anyway, he was standing out there in the parking lot of a Walmart with some handmade cardboard signs with some lady next to him. Maybe it was his wife, I don't know. And, you know, harassing shoppers as they came out of the store saying, hey, would you like to see Walmart employees make $15 an hour? Now, like most people who are compassionate people, not like, you know, this guy, but most people who are compassionate said, yeah, I would love that. That sounds fair. And then he said, well, would you please donate 15% of your purchases so that we can help the Walmart employees? Now, a lot of people at that point said, no, we're not going to donate. I mean, some people actually offered to donate some, and if it wasn't the 15%, this guy got completely angry at these people. But it's understandable that, you know, people who shop at Walmart, most people who shop there don't have enormous means, not like this guy. I mean, they're middle class, maybe on the lower income scale. They're shopping at Walmart. They go there for good prices. They can't, even if they want to help somebody, they can't afford to pony up that extra. But here was the funny part. Those very people in the parking lot that he was baiting with leading questions, and he had the benefit of sort of, you know, the element of surprise. And he's the big economist. Well, those people were schooling him. They were explaining to him the realities of economics and accounting, that in fact, Walmart doesn't have to offer or have to raise its prices to offer higher wages to employees. And here's why. Let's go down the list. First of all, Walmart is a huge corporation, $475 billion in sales last year. Profits of almost $20 billion, about $17.2 billion. Out of that, Walmart spent something like $8 billion just to buy back its own stock. $8 billion to buy back its own stock. Now, is that a productive investment? If Walmart were to pay every single one of its employees, it could afford to pay another almost $6,000 a year to every single one of its U.S. employees if it didn't buy back its stock. So there was plenty of money there without having to raise prices. In addition, Walmart paid out or will pay out this year something like $6 billion in dividends. What's a dividend? It's a payment to people who just hold the stock. It's basically an economic rent, okay? I mean, even if you took half of that, you'd be able to give another $2,000 or $3,000 annual increase to Walmart workers, associates as they're called. Didn't have to raise prices there. Let's talk a little bit also about the fact that Walmart's outgoing CEO, he earned something like $21 million last year. That's 1,400 times more than the average Walmart worker. And it's far and away, I have to say, in a country of huge income inequality like we have here in the United States, 1,400 times a worker's salary even makes the 400 or 500 times a worker's salary, which is obscene already. It makes that so obscene as to be like mind-bogglingly out of whack. So, and these are just a few examples. Look, Walmart has $10 billion in cash. Let me ask you something. Why does one of the largest companies on earth have to sit on so much cash when they have literally unfettered access to the capital markets? If Walmart needs some money to borrow or invest or make payroll, they could tap the equity or the credit markets all day long at very, very low rates. You got $10 billion in cash, which is a management decision to keep that. It's also a management decision to pay those dividends. It's also a management decision to buy up almost $10 billion worth of its stock. It's also, hello, a management decision not to pay your employees a lot of money. And by the way, those sales associates, they earn about $15,600 a year, which is below the federal poverty line of, I believe it's $23,500 for a family of four. But here is the worst, or I should say the most egregious offense. The fact that most Walmart employees earn below the poverty level makes them able to get public assistance. So how does Walmart get $10 billion in cash and $17 billion in profit and pay its CEO $21 million and buy back $8 billion worth of its stock and pay $6 billion worth of dividends? I'll tell you how. Because we, the taxpayers, are subsidizing Walmart's employees. Now, if you think that's good, if you think that's great capitalism, then I don't know what universe you're living in, because that's a business model that does not work. Look, Walmart, you got to get off the public dole. You got to pay your employees more. And by the way, there's plenty of money in your cost structure to do that without raising prices. So all you people out there who are attacked by this sadistic jerk, you're right and he's wrong. But that's nothing unusual, because he's wrong all the time. Anyway, that's it, folks. See you next time. This is Mike Norman. Bye-bye.